we unmuted? Good to go.
All right, everybody, I'll call the Tuesday, January 27th Select Board meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty, this meeting is being broadcast on RCTV and Zoom tonight. First item on the agenda now is the overview of the meeting. So at 7:05, public comment for any items that aren't on the agenda. You're allowed to speak on agenda items as they come up. At 7:15, town manager reports. 7:20, community spotlights. 7:25, Last Corner Restaurant 50th anniversary recognition. 7:35, discuss and vote on in-person early voting and vote by mail for April 7, 2026 election. 7:45, a public hearing, discuss and vote on an all-alcohol restaurant license for Trentino Enterprises, DBA, De Blasi's Food and Drink, located at 42 High Street. 7:50, liaison reports. 7:55, future agendas, and 8 o'clock, approved prior meeting minutes from January 6th. And with that, I will open it up to public comment. Anybody in the room? Anybody online? Maddie?
It's Maddie.
I don't see any hands raised online.
I don't see any either. All right, so we will move on then to town manager report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we had our annual MLK Day celebration. That was Monday the 19th at the Performing Arts Center at the high school. It was very well attended, a very well run event. I'd like to thank Albert Pless and his team for making this event possible this year, as we do every year. And thanks to DPW and facilities, because of course it snowed a little the day before, but the roads were clear and the pathways were clear and didn't have any issues there. So thank you to all that made that event successful. Also, a big thank you to our fire department. As many of you know, we had a major fire last week at James Road, and our department responded right away, minimized the damage and injuries. I also wanted to thank the police department who responded, the health department responded, the public services department responded, and also fire personnel from other towns came as part of mutual aid. Fortunately, one firefighter was injured, not seriously, I hear. So it was quite an event, and we hope for fewer fires coming in the future. But for the one that we had, I really want to thank the department for a great response. Many of us attended the MMA conference over the weekend. It's called Connect 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. It was informative, a lot of great workshops, interesting speakers. And it was good to speak with leaders from other communities and talk about the challenges we're all facing, mostly financial challenges. So it's good to hear that Reading's not alone as we look to the future and what the future financially that might hold. I wanted to give a brief MBTA update because people had been asking. I did speak with the MBTA last week. They currently don't have any plans to bring back the turnback track issue at another location, but they haven't ruled out pursuing it, so there's really no big update there. They also told me that they're going to pursue a federal grant of $80 to $100 million to try to install double tracks from Reading to Haverhill, on the Haverhill-Reading line. So if that were to happen and be successful, that would alleviate the need for a turnback track, so that might be something that we're interested in the future. It could also speed up plans for the new Reading depot. So they didn't have much on that. It's still in the works, but obviously with federal dollars, it's not guaranteed. But $80 to $100 million federal grant would be something. So that's the brief update there. This Thursday, we are going to have the financial policies workshop. The state is actually coming to host that here in Reading at our request. That's going to be at the library starting at 9 a.m. We did have to sign up in advance for that. The space is limited. We also have several members of other communities joining us. There will be several members of the Reading community, professional staff, and some board members. And I'm hopeful that, at the end of that meeting, we'll have the tools we need to really take a good hard look at our financial policies that could use some updating in the future. So that's the way the state handles it these days. They don't just come in and write them for you. They teach you how to write them, which is even, I think, better for our purposes. And people know the word is out that Trader Joe's officially has been announced coming to a Reading location. I've been working on this behind the scenes with Kevin and Andrew and other staff for some time. It wasn't public information until recently, but I'm happy to have it public. We'll have more updates on that soon in terms of openings and locations, but that's something that people really wanted, and I'm really happy to announce that they are coming. And also, Kevin McCarthy would like to know when his parade is going to be that Carlo promised him. Carlo's not here tonight, but he did promise him a parade if we brought Trader Joe's to Reading. So, and that's what I have for report tonight. Yeah,
Karen.
Just wanted to ask a follow-up question. So thank you for the update on the MBTA. That's awesome. I would love us to keep, now that we're attending regularly, you, and I don't know if anybody else is going with you, I'd really like to, I don't know how other board members feel, I'd really like to push them on minimally restoring our service to pre-COVID. That was one of my big shocking takeaways from the community meeting, that, that hasn't been restored, and that, that doesn't require new tracks. It doesn't require an upgrade to the station. It doesn't require anything other than providing the services they need to provide us. And also our regional transportation authority, and maybe that's something we could talk about at a future meeting.
Okay.
And could I ask a question for next time? Could you follow up with MWRA? I noticed they haven't rushed back to get back to us.
Yeah. And I could, MWRA, I can give you a brief update on that. We did write that letter back over the summer, and I've been pushing for a response ever since then. And I've been working with Paul, and working with staff here. And hopefully, they've been saying, we're looking into it, we're going to get back to you, So I'm hoping to, at least if they can't give me any response, then put it on for the next board meeting that they have, so we can talk about it there, and really push the issue. But it's been longer than I expected. It really was over the summer when I sent them that letter, and it was pretty strongly worded. So I understand it's a lot of money at stake, and that takes time. But I'm really hoping for a response soon on that.
Do they meet monthly, quarterly?
I think they meet a little more than monthly. A little less than monthly, but not quite quarterly. So I'll have to find out when exactly the next meeting is. I think they have a meeting coming in February, though. So
as long as we don't have to wait till next summer, that'd be...
No. You wouldn't wait till next summer.
Alrighty. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you.
Jane, did you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just really briefly, I attended the Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast, which is well done, and the MMA conference with my staff members as well this weekend. And those experiences and learning opportunities were very valuable to myself and our departments. And secondly, you may be seeing us on the Pleasant Street Center Road Show. We're calling it a road show. It's highly entertaining. Katie Gabriella, the Director of Operations, and myself are visiting a variety of boards, committees, and commissions to talk about the future of the Pleasant Street Center, and give those boards some time to think about it, give us their ideas, their information. We went to the Historical Commission on the 14th, got some really good feedback from them and some insights that we did not know, and so that's sort of our hope is, what do we not know? And then we'll also be in front of the school committee this coming Thursday. We're supposed to be at Recreation yesterday, so we'll have to reschedule. Housing Authority, February 2nd, Finance Committee, February 4th, CPDC on the 9th, and then we'll bring that back here. We're also going to launch a survey probably next week, just for the community to kind of weigh in as well. And we'll leave that open for a little while. We can give you preliminary results when we meet. But this is part of our procurement process with the public building that we're going to be doing something with. And we kind of set the table as how it works and get feedback from the community. And then we'll bring that back to you to help inform any decision making for the board. That's our process. Thank you.
I think that if Rob is listening back there, if he could maybe record some of these meetings with you auctioning off or praising some antiques. This would be a highly watched show on RCTV.
I mean, I can do it.
So,
I can do it. I can't speak that fast, but I can. Thank you for that. Vote of confidence.
all right, 7:20 community spotlight minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So there are two things I wanted to mention this week, two spotlights I'd like to shine. First, congratulations to Reading varsity wrestler and senior captain Will Merkel, who recently achieved his 100th career win, which is about 99 more wins than I had when I was wrestling. So for those of you that don't follow high school wrestling, 100 wins is a huge achievement and one that few wrestlers across the state ever accomplish. So a big congratulations to Will. And also, we go from 100 wins to 100th birthday. I'd like to wish Ron Winslow a very happy 100th birthday. And Ron Winslow has been a Reading resident since the 50s. He and his brother opened a place called Winslow's Variety on Haven Street in the 1950s. I don't know if anybody remembers it. Yeah, do you remember? Oh, great. Yeah. Yep. And that was in business several years. He was a selectman, he was a town meeting member, he was a finance committee member, and a member of other boards and committees, so he'd been very involved, to say the least. He's also a veteran. In the 1970s, apparently he was an assistant superintendent of schools here and business manager until he retired. So his 100th birthday was on January 21st. So Jane, Will, and I were fortunate enough to go to his party at Residence at Pearl Street, and I got to speak with Ron for a while, and I really enjoyed that. So I told him I'd mention it here tonight. He was thrilled, so a big congrats to Ron on his 100th birthday and 100 more. So
Thanks, Matt.
thank you.
All right, so moving on to 7:25 Last Corner Restaurant 50th Anniversary Recognition. There are more people in the room here than in past meetings, which is always good on a positive note. Matt has a plaque that we had prepared for Last Corner. Paul and Val, I don't know if you want to say anything first, or, your few words usually, but, or Chief Rick Nelson would like to speak on your behalf then.
For those that don't know me, Rick Nelson, Fire Chief. I can't not say a couple words to you guys. 50 years in business. I'm 52 years old. At 2 years old, my dad was traipsing me down to their store in one of those little papoose things and bringing me down. I grew up at their store, played video games in their store. I then met my wife, introduced my wife to Val and Paul. We then grew through our marriage and time, going down there all the time. Then I had my kids. Anytime we drove near there, we going to Val's? We going to Val's? Sorry, Paul, buddy. But we're going to Val's, and now my kids are young adults, and they love that place. And 50 years of anything is amazing, but 50 years in a community, serving the community, they would come in early and feed public safety, DPW, during storms. July, we had that massive fire. One phone call at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we had like 70 sandwiches. We had 70 sandwiches for troops on the ground that was starving and just couldn't eat enough of it, to be quite frank. So I'd be remiss if I didn't take a few minutes to say thank you for everything you've done over the last 50 years, on a personal note and on a public safety and a town-wide note. You guys are special. You'll always be special. We appreciate everything you've done. Congratulations on 50 years. And you can't retire yet because I still get hungry in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Reading. I just said that. They're not customers, everybody's family. I love
If you
it.
just want to get up, because people can't hear you at home.
I'll cry. My kids grew up there. I thank my kids because 50 years, they could have grown up and been terrible because they grew up to be good people. I left $5 on the table and I said, make sure you get yourself to school, make sure you eat. And I have a nurse, I have a teacher, I have an attorney and a writer, and And I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful to everybody in Reading. When I got sick, they were there. They all helped me. Nancy and Carol, they all pitched in. When I had brain aneurysm, she just stepped right in and worked for me and everything. I'm so grateful to everybody in Reading. I love everyone, and I thank you all. If I stand up there, I'll really cry, so I'm sorry. But thank you.
I want to say
Thank you, Val.
to all of you, even
Like I
inside the room, you make the decision to honor somebody. Me and Valerie, we worked very hard through the years, but everything pays off.
We
Believe
fought
it
hard
or
to
not.
stay there, too.
Yeah.
That's right.
We fought very hard to stay there.
Yeah.
And we're not going anywhere. They'll probably mount us and put us on the wall. But we're not leaving until God takes us. And I love everybody, and thank you so much. We
It's
appreciate it.
unbelievable how many people they love the last corner. And Valerie, I don't know about me.
Like I said, we're not fancy
Without
pants.
Valerie,
We're
I
not
would never
fancy
do it.
pants, but we tried the best. And,
Without Valerie, I
whatever
would
we do,
never
I do
make
with
it.
love.
Yeah.
I do with
Thank
love.
you, yeah.
You know, and whatever. I love all the children. I love all the old people. I love everybody in between. I love everyone. They're like my kids. You know, they're like my kids too.
The town
He
was-
tells me sometimes, "Will you stop?" You know, but I can't help it. That's just how I am. I love everybody.
Thank you.
You know, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I have one question for you.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Last Corner?
Well, it was an empty building when we got there, and it's a corner. And so he first had said he was going to call it Paul and Nick's. There's Nick. There's Paul. And then he said, when you leave in Reading, it's the last corner. So that's how we
They
got
say
it.
to me, why you don't say the first corner?
It's true.
I said, the last corner better though.
It depends on what direction you leave in Reading, but when we were going home to Woburn, because we lived with my parents, because I was 21 and he was 26, we had nothing. We just got married, so we were living in Woburn. So when the first time I left the Reading to go home to Woburn, I got lost because I didn't know how to go, but that's how we left. So that's the last corner to us. That's how we got it, and just sounded okay. And you want to know how we got the Penn Burger?
Sure.
We went on our honeymoon to Pennsylvania. The Penn Burger. Isn't that funny?
That was the shortest explanation ever.
We went to a restaurant and
They were called the Texas Burger, so we couldn't call it that. So, because we've been married 51 years and we had the restaurant 50 years. So,
Thank you.
and we didn't get divorced yet.
Quite a feat.
Yeah, last year we celebrate the 50 years anniversary, Mary.
And this year, 50
My
years.
daughter's
and
50 years birthday a couple of months ago. And my youngest daughter, where's my youngest daughter? Oh, there he is.
She was
She's gonna
smart.
be
She
50.
stayed away.
Yeah.
She only came at night and unlocked the doors and made hot dogs.
Yeah.
But no, we're great.
I
Thank
don't
you.
think so anybody knows my little daughter. She never goes there. So,
Yes. And we're good. Thank you, Redding.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
thank you to Reddy.
Board members, before I open it up to anyone else, Karen?
So I just would like to say thank you because my two boys, one lived in Louisiana and the other lives in Missouri and the other one lives in Montana, and they come home and the first place they go is to your place. And I actually think they spend more time with you than with me when they come home. So I guess thank you. I'm not sure, but no one in the entire country makes food like you.
People, they say, why you didn't change a little bit? I say, every time somebody comes out of state, after all those years, they feel like at home. It's like you go to your grandmother's house
Yes.
and everything there, and you feel,
Yes.
the same thing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You see the way? you're still the same blue. Thank you.
Yeah, no, they text me a lot. No place like that here. You know, they charge $20 for an egg sandwich. Blah blah blah. But thank you very much.
Thank you for your kids too.
Thank
They say something nice for
I let them know.
Thank you. And
That's it.
Anybody else? Melissa?
I just want to say thank you guys for 50 years of, warm food. You are the quintessential place that brings residents together. And every time I'm in there, it's always kind of the same people and everyone's talking to each other. I love all the groups that come there and meet weekly. It's incredible. And, just thank you for everything that you've done for Reading and your dedication to this town. We are all clearly so appreciative, and clearly the generations of family members that have come and, spent time there, eaten there, and come back when they're here back in Reading. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm so glad you fought so hard to stay. So glad. So thank you.
Karen?
Thank you. So I can't say it better than my colleagues have said it. And my dad owned the restaurant for 10 years, and I did help him on Saturdays. And I have a small inkling of how hard of a business it is. And so all the more congratulations. And for staying married.
I know. That's even hard.
Working together, living together. There you go. That's a bond for life.
He threw a sandwich at me, but that's about it.
That's not bad.
50 years, that wasn't bad.
no. Where's the sandwich? I put the sandwich on the counter and it fell.
Yeah, it just fell. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And I guess for me, before I was a twinkle in anyone's eye running for select board, my dad was going to the last corner for years here.
Yes.
And I think you like him more than me, which is okay.
Oh, I love your dad.
But just know that the cash that he's getting to pay for all that food is coming from me. So, but no, you really have been a cornerstone here in Reading, doing all the coffee with the cops or, various things for candidates. Like Chief Nelson said, everything with the fire department, DPW, all of that over there. So it's good that you're still here, that you fought to stay here. And, we'd like to see another 50 years, but who knows how that'll go. But
Have to push me in the
I'm
walker.
77 and I'm still walking. I don't know.
I don't know, you have a couple kids that might take over there. I don't know. I'm seeing lots of yeses, shaking the wrong direction.
Your daughter.
Or maybe that.
And guess who's the favorite?
Who's her favorite? We're very fortunate. These are all my family, everyone here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
I love you.
Does anybody else from the public have anything to say that hasn't already been said for the most part? Anybody online, Maddie? I don't see
No hands raised
I
online.
missed someone, Laura?
Say thank you for welcoming me to Reading when I moved in, and also for the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had.
Amen.
Yeah. So Matt has a plaque that we'd like to present to you. I'll talk to Giuseppe and Frank to see if they can mount it outside for you, kind of thing, if you want it out there. I think it would look good right under the circle hanging sign that they put out.
So I wanted to have this plaque made of solid gold in honor of your golden milestone, but it wasn't in the budget. But in celebration of their golden milestone, 50 years of commitment, care, and connection in the Reading community, presented by the Reading Select Board, January 27th, 2026.
Thank you very much.
Now, we typically take pictures this direction with the full board, but I think it's best if we turn it around and take a picture with everyone.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, God.
Sure.
That's a great idea. I like it.
You want to take a picture?
Yeah. And that,
But you want to be in it?
Laura, get over here.
Get over there.
More than
It's
that.
fine. It's okay. It's okay.
That's like negative.
Oh, the economic development director is going to do it. I already focused it. It's perfect.
Okay, I'll try not to mess it up.
All right, come on in, Jay.
Come on. Do you want to come up for the grandparents?
Angie,
Want to come in the front? Yes, absolutely.
Come with the
you
family.
want to be next to your favorite?
There you go.
She left me.
She
Apparently
does
it's
that to
over
aggravate
there.
Yes, that's why she's next to me.
her. One of mine.
All right, big smiles, everybody. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, we'll take one, we'll take two, we'll take three. Hopefully everybody has their eyes.
Thank
open.
you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. We'll take one just for you.
Whose phone do I have?
I know.
Pull this out of the way, no?
That was your tie. No.
Godfather, sit right in the middle.
Now you did it.
I'm hungry.
I know, you didn't bring any food. Carlo always brings chocolate.
We'll be down tomorrow.
Let's hide me a little bit.
All right, don't be shy.
Valerie, you're gonna.
All righty. 1, 2, 3. 3, 3. Smile. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
very
much for everything
Thank
you do. We
Oh,
appreciate it.
thank you.
Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Chief Goodspeed.
That's amazing. Amazing.
You guys are amazing. 50 years of a restaurant is a.
Karen's.
I love every moment. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My face has to be bright red. Yeah. I can feel it when you're in it too. But I thought, because I'm.
Never met my baby daughter.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, this is Jamie. Ryan. Never met Jamie, my youngest daughter.
Right.
When I came in here. Just turned it off.
This is Jamie, the nurse.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sheila.
I'm sorry. You get cold.
Hi, how are you? Here it is. Hi, Sheila. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Probably find a recording on.
All righty, moving on to 7:35, discuss and vote on in-person early voting and vote by mail for the April 7, 2026 election. Laura.
Hi.
Hello again.
Position moved. Yeah, and it's actually way better there, but can we not keep it? Because then we can see everyone in the room. When it's moved over, we can't, it blocks.
I think it has to see you on TV either when
That's
it's
okay.
over there. We can't see Karen.
Can they see her now?
As long as RCTV has it.
Chance of the camera not getting messed up.
Yeah.
Are we good? Can you hear me? Okay, so it's that time of year, here for the April election, for the in-person early voting and vote by mail. As you may remember from last year, Massachusetts law requires that if we're going to have in-person early voting for a local election, that the select board must vote to opt in. If you're going to have vote by mail, then the select board doesn't need to do anything. If you don't want vote by mail, then you would vote to opt out. In the past history, we have always done in-person early voting for the 1 week during town hall hours. So that for this year, if you choose to do in-person early voting, it would be March 28th through April 2nd during the regular normal town hall hours. Now, March 28th is a Saturday, and that I am required to be open 9 to 5 on March 28th for the last day to register to vote. So by doing in-person early voting that day, we'll get reimbursed for some of the cost of having to be open. So that would be the reasoning behind doing that Saturday as well. The Board of Registrars are supposed to take a vote on what they would like to recommend to the select board, and then the select board chooses at that point as to whether or not we're going to opt in or opt out, vote by mail. The Board of Registrars, we posted a meeting for January 15th, but we did not have a quorum, so we could not take a vote. I did, however, get a feel of the Board of Registrars via email, which we did this last year as well. And the feel of the board is that in-person early voting, 2 members would like to have in-person early voting, 1 would not. For vote by mail, all 3 would like to hold vote by mail. So now it's up to you as a board to decide if you want to opt in for in-person early voting and vote and keep vote by mail by not taking a vote. Did that make sense? Yeah.
So we don't vote?
For vote by mail, if you want to hold vote by mail, then you don't do anything. If you wanted to hold in-person early voting, then you have to vote to opt in.
To in-person early voting only?
Correct.
So that means if we want both, then we're only taking a vote on in-person early voting?
Correct.
Okay. Board members. Karen.
Clarification question. I got the part about all-day voting on the 28th because you'll be here for voter registration anyway. Do we have, in the past, the feedback you've given us is that it's been fairly slow. Do we have to have a set number of days for early voting, or can we be totally flexible?
We can be totally flexible. For a local election, we're only allowed to do it March 28th through the April 2nd. We can't do anything more beyond that. During the week, it's pretty slow, but on Saturdays, the busiest. Believe it or not. It's actually, so in the past, I mean, I've been here almost 17 years. This is going to be election number 49 for me. And since we've been doing in-person early voting, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought for a second. Since I've been here, we've had to be open for the last day to register to vote. And for 49 elections, we've had 2 people come in to register to vote during that last day. What's happened with the in-person early voting being on Saturday, that's what's bringing the people in to vote, to register to vote. They can come in, register, and vote in the same day.
So if I look at the calendar, do we have 2 Saturdays, like the 28th? Oh, no. Okay. Nope, not even. So it's Saturday through
the 2nd, which is a Thursday. Correct.
Okay.
We could do Friday, but I'm not suggesting that we do Friday. That's typically, for several reasons. One is it's typically a day that we're closed. And it's also the last day that we can get things finished up and wrapped up. Usually the staff is here working on Fridays to get ready for the election on the Friday before the election. So I prefer not to do it that day, but so totally up to you.
Just for the public, so if we do early voting all that week, it won't be Sunday, but it'll be like Monday through Thursday, as we might have done in the past. You have to staff all those days. We have to pay them and buy them lunch. I mean, so it's not insignificant cost, and there's management that needs to be done.
So for the in-person early voting, the part that's an advantage to that is if we don't do in-person early voting, we are going to be doing, so we still have vote by absentee voting. If we don't do in-person early voting, we're going to have a lot more absentee. And the absentee has to be done by the staff, whereas in-person early voting can be done by the election workers. The advantages to that is there's a lot more paperwork on absentee, and with in-person early voting, you can get reimbursed for the cost of the staffing. So it also allows us to get reimbursed for the cost of being open on that Saturday.
Okay, so not just Saturday, but every day we do early and
For the staff.
we can get reimbursed.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, and with vote by mail, we can get reimbursed for the postage.
Great.
Anybody else? Yeah, I think both are obviously fine. It's good that we can get reimbursed for it as well. And you said it's March 28th?
Yes, that Saturday, yep. 9 to 5 on March 28th. And then that Monday through Thursday would be the same hours as Town Hall.
Okay, so the 30th, 31st, 1st, and 2nd.
Correct.
Yep, Good Friday is holiday, looks like anyway on that Friday. So probably couldn't do it anyway, but who knows. Anybody else? Nothing? Any public comment in the room? Anybody online, Maddie?
No hands are raised online.
I didn't see anyone either. Karen, do you have a different motion or with just the one scenario?
Motion to opt into in-person early voting to be conducted 3/28/2026 through 4/2/2026 during town hall hours.
Second.
Do we need a clarification on that Sunday isn't included?
It says town hall hours.
Yeah.
We don't have hours on Sunday.
Yeah, I would just, for me, it's as if I would imply because you're opening on a Saturday, you're not open then anyway, so Sunday would have been included is my thought process.
Okay. Motion. Whoop.
Do you agree, Laura?
Excluding Sunday.
Excluding Sunday. Yeah.
To read the whole thing over again?
Yes.
Motion to opt into in-person early voting to be conducted 3/28/2026 through 4/2/2026 during town hall hours excluding Sunday.
Second.
Seconded by Melissa. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 4-0. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
All right, moving on to 7:45 public hearing, discuss and vote on an all-alcohol restaurant license for Tarantino Enterprises LLC DBA de Blasi's Food and Drink located at 42 High Street. And before that, I am a directed butter to de Blasi's right over there. I'm at the corner of Two Haven. Therefore, I must recuse myself from voting on this. So Melissa will be taking over.
Okay. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
To the inhabitants of the town of Reading, please take notice that the Select Board of the town of Reading will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Select Board meeting room at Town Hall, 16 Lowell Street, Reading, Mass. Are also available remotely on Zoom to act on a new license. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, that is, I'm sorry. Oh my God. New license application for an annual all alcohol restaurant license located at 42 High Street, Reading, Mass. For Trentino Enterprises, LLC, DBA, de Blasi's Food and Drink. A copy of the proposed documents regarding this topic will be in the Select Board packet on the website at www.readingma.gov. All interested parties are invited to attend the hearing in person or remotely via Zoom, or may submit their comments in writing or by email prior to 6 p.m. on January 27th, 2026 to town manager at readingma.gov by order of Matthew A. Cornelis, Esquire, town manager.
Great. Do you have something you'd like to share with us?
Yes, hi. My name is attorney John Masciarelli. I am here on behalf of Trentino Enterprises LLC, doing business as de Blasi Food and Drink application. I'm here with the two owners of de Blasi Food and Drink, Ryan Patterson, lifelong resident of Reading, Greg Magazzini, also a Reading resident and has been in the food industry for over 30 years. Thank you for consideration of the application. The site location is going to be the old Green Tomato as well, next door to the dry cleaners location. It's going to be primarily as a family restaurant. And we believe that the establishment will be a great addition to the Reading community as well as Reading Center. So,
Great.
Questions?
Yep. Do board members have any questions? Karen?
Yes, could we take alcohol licenses very seriously in this community? I would love to hear from one of the partners about how they intend to uphold what we need to do in that area.
Sure. No, thank you for the question. Absolutely. We take it very seriously as well. All of our employees will be TIPS certified training. And really the alcohol is a companion to a food first approach. So it's intended to complement the menu that Chef Greg is creating rather than being sort of a bar or a nightclub, if you will. So it's really a place for families to gather, to support the community, and for folks to go on a nice date night. But we're going to take it very seriously. We'll always have a manager on duty. Greg and I are going to be very present there. And as I said, everyone will be TIPS certified to ensure we're doing safe service and responsible service.
Okay. While you're up there, could I ask you about the Founders Club? I'm not familiar with that kind of a financing mechanism.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. And thank you to our founders who have participated. It's sort of like a GoFundMe, if you will. So we have a great surrounding community of friends and family. As John mentioned, I've been in town my whole life. My parents grew up in Reading. And I really wanted to work with Greg to bring a place to Reading that the community could enjoy. And so what we did was we raised an opportunity for friends, family, local community to contribute to the startup of the business. And in doing so, joining our Founders Club. So they get a mug with their name on it. They get their name on a plaque that says Founders Family, and they donate a small amount of money, which we intend to pay back after the restaurant becomes profitable. So it's sort of a way to be on the ground floor and part of the founding of the restaurant. And we had an awesome turnout from the town, which we were very grateful for.
Great, awesome. Matt, I need to, so I'm not a founding member, so I'm comfortable weighing in on this decision, but do you think the select board members all need to just say, no, we're not founding members? I'm worried about a potential conflict, even though it's a small amount of money.
It's up to the board member if they have a conflict to disclose it.
Not there yet?
I'm not a founding member.
Are you one? Okay, so we're okay then, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen?
I guess I just want to find out what it's going to be like and what are your hours and all that kind of detail. How many seats?
Yeah, thank you. So it's intended to be about 40 seats, family seating, as well as a small bar. And the food is Italian-American comfort food, as well as takeout items, including some healthy options, which we hope will bring some options to the town. And Greg is an amazing cook, and the reason I'm here is to support Greg and get his food closer to home. So his other establishment is in Everett, and we've been jealous for many years. That's really what we're all about.
Thanks.
Great. I just want to add, I'm really excited for you guys. I'm a Malden girl, so I love DeBlasi's, and I love when I can get it back here in Reading. So I'm really excited for you guys. Wish you the best of luck, and looking forward to another great establishment here in Reading.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah.
When do you think you're going to open?
Hopefully April, May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Great. And I think we can close the hearing now, and then we'll see if we have any public comment.
Move to close the public hearing regarding the annual all alcohol restaurant liquor license for Trentino Enterprises, LLC, DBA DeBlasi's Food and Drink.
Great. Do we have any public comment here in the room? Maddie, do we have anyone online?
No hands are raised online.
Right. So if we have a motion.
Move to approve the annual all alcohol restaurant liquor license for Trentino Enterprises, LLC, DBA DeBlasi's Food and Drink, located at 42 High Street.
Second.
All those in favor? 3-0. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Look forward to it.
Congratulations. Thank you.
All righty, moving on to 7:50 liaison reports. Karen Rose Gillis, did you want to go?
I'd be delighted. Thank you so much for calling on me. January 14th, I and others attended the Walker's Brook Drive Forum. Town staff and consultant presented update on plans for the Walker's Brook Drive area. It was very well attended and it was a really good presentation. A lot of good questions from pros and cons from people. The consultants were taking comments and working on things moving forward. January 21st, the Council on Aging met. Working group update and discussion with Jane and Jenna. They gave excellent feedback. The recal they're going to present. You guys are going on the road and going to present to them on the 29th. Somebody's presenting recal. Is it Jenna?
Huh?
Yeah, on the 29th. The 21st, the Affordable Housing Trust met, and we had a guest speaker, Shelley Goring from the Mass Housing Partnership. She provided a lot of information to help us understand the priorities and suggestions on how the town can move forward with ways to utilize the trust funds and what other communities have done with both no additional funding and with CPA funding as a source. I had the pleasure of attending the MMA conference and got to know the staff a little bit better and attended a couple of workshops. Met a lot of vendors, which was very fun. I attended two particular workshops that were really good. One was keeping your cool when the public is losing theirs. And another one I attended, the DPW guys were gracious enough to let me attend one with them, Hired to Hire, Public Works Recruitment, Retention, and Succession Planning, which was very interesting because we're having a hard time retaining people. And so it was pretty good. The main part of the event was the keynote speaker was Timothy Shriver, who gave an unbelievable address, basically focusing on building skills for dignified disagreement, which is very timely both locally and nationally. It was really, really well. And I have handouts. I thought you were going to talk about it more. But they gave these great handouts that I literally took like 10 of them. And I wish I had had it when my children were younger. Like, it's a really nice outline of how you can treat everybody with dignity, regardless of what your issues are. And I recommend highly that we all refer to these when we're pausing and taking a moment. It was basically important to address the issues and not address the people and their beliefs. And so if you can take the personalized part out of it, it makes it a lot easier to deal with people that you're on another side of. It was really, really good. I was kind of hoping it was taped, but I don't know if it was or not. And the food pantry, they recently had a volunteer appreciation brunch for many, many volunteers. They had a day of service on MLK Day, sorting through donations and combing through to check expiration dates. You have to be careful when you donate to the pantry, make sure they're not expired. They were also able to share a lot of overstock with the Lazarus House, which is a large food pantry in Lawrence that serves up to 2,000 people each time they're open, which is a really large. And just a reminder that you can drop off at Stop and Shop and Market Basket and at the food pantry at 6 Salem Street. And you can also visit the website if you want to make a monetary donation through Venmo or see their newsletter and see what kind of things they're looking for that month. That's it.
Thanks, Karen. Karen.
Thank you. Sure. This was a crazy month. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Computer's being difficult. Okay. I held office hours on January 8th at the Pleasant Street Center, and that was also the New Year's celebration, so that was a good turnout. And I also attended the Walker's Brook redesign, and I appreciated Andrew's work on that, and the consultants were terrific. And I walked out of there thinking that everybody already had the dignity index in their hands, because we had a very civil and polite hearing of different sides of the same area of that neighborhood. And I also walked out learning a lot more about the residents and what they want, the ones that live on both sides of the neighborhood, those closer to Main Street and those over by where the 40B is being developed in John Street. So that was a great meeting for a number of reasons. I agree. So I volunteered and attended the MLK Day, and I concur with Matt Albert plus from our Office of Equity and Social Justice, and his team of volunteers deserve a round of applause. The performances were amazing. RMHS students, students of color and allies, SOCA, were serving as MCs. I believe it was the Ipswich River Community Chorus who came and performed. And the breakfast was provided by Reading Public Schools Catering Service, and it was delicious. And it was one of the options that I know is being considered for the future Pleasant Street Center in order to deliver high quality meals and do it at a cost affordable manner. So that was wonderful. Well done. Let's see. Also attended the Council on Aging meeting as the liaison. They now have a working group focused on the ReCal project. And they shared a document of some concerns they have related to the project. And the Council on Aging has representatives on the Permanent Building Committee. They do not have a specific Council on Aging representative on the Operations Planning Committee. And then they have this work group. So, it's good to talk with these members of the Council on Aging and hear what they're thinking about and what they'd like to see at the center and hear their concerns. And I appreciate that staff was at the Council on Aging meeting as well, also listening. I do encourage folks that are excited about, how they might be using the future ReCal Center in just a very short time to attend this coffee with Jenna, the Director of Elder and Community Services. As you said, it's on the 29th, and I noted it, that starts at 2, and I bet our interim Elder Services Administrator, Carrie Valley, will be there as well. And so I would definitely encourage people to go and have coffee with Jenna and bring your feedback. Let's see. Okay, so that's for that. I also attended the Permanent Building Committee, and they are pretty much focused on this ReCal project right now. But they are talking less about form and function and more about getting contractors qualified or pre-qualified and bids going out. And there was a small delay in the bids going out, but they will be going out in February. We've had a change of the Council on Aging representation on that committee. Nancy Zemlak, we thank her for all her hard work. She has stepped down, and Ron Powell has volunteered to fill in, so the committee welcomed him there. We also talked about there are some things in this new building that will be common to other buildings. Building security is one example, and so we had one of our procurement offices there to really talk about, doing more with less staff and less resources, and being efficient means that we want to try to have the same kind of building security systems whenever possible. And there are some, we learned that there are some shortcuts that we can take via procurement that Jay knows all about. And I mean that in a good way, meaning it may condense the process. We shouldn't have to work so hard. We'll get the same state negotiated funding. Sorry, it's not my area of expertise, but I'm glad to hear that we are, because having the same software across all these buildings will obviously make it easier for Joe and anybody in his team to manage the building. So that's all good. Let's see. And in terms of the project itself, I believe they presented that they have committed about 10% at this point and expended about 5% of the total project budget. And the chair loves to tell us that they are on time and probably under budget at this point. I also attended a book discussion co-sponsored by the Reading Neighbors Network and one of the library groups last week. And this is a group of 60 plus residents. Reading Neighbors Network was formed to make up for what a perceived lack of programming and social support that was being delivered by the current Pleasant Street Center. And the group's been in formation for a number of years. So this, predates even COVID. And their motto is socializing with a purpose. So this club, I hope there is some overlap with the Council on Aging and the residents and participants of the Pleasant Street Center are actively engaged. But if you go to readingnn.club and you look at the list of items that this group gets together and does, you're like, okay, this whole group is going to be operating out of Recal when we've got that project up and running. So that's really exciting, because what happened was this book discussion at 3 p.m., they always have them at 3 p.m., was incredibly successful. And what it meant is that because there were 30 people in their room, there was no parking anywhere at the library. So not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it demonstrates that we do have things going on, and to have more room to spread them around, I mean, it will just make easier for library patrons and staff not necessarily attending special events, and will also make it easier for the Reading Neighbors Networks to be able to say, go over to Recal, and it's just going to spread things out. So we can see that. I also wanted to mention that the Reading Scholarship Foundation, this is the time of year, all you parents and seniors out there, and all you parents actually of former Reading High School students who have not yet achieved their undergraduate degree and you're still writing checks. The Reading Scholarship Foundation application, it is up. Takes 20 minutes the first year, to take even less the next 4 years. The deadline, this is a non-negotiable deadline. The application needs to be returned on or before March 6, 2026. And this is a great program. I've been serving as a director for years. Last year, Reading Scholarship Foundation awarded $219,475,000 to 80 deserving Reading students. And then since 1970, the Reading Scholarship Foundation has awarded $5,224,76 to 6,080 deserving Reading students. So the numbers on the scholarship are unbeatable, and parents and students, you don't want to miss this. Don't miss the deadline. Okay, MMA conference, I also attended. I was really happy to see lots and lots of staff there, and I appreciate the effort. Staff members coming on Fridays and Saturday when town hall is closed, to take part in this annual event. And let's see. So since I've been serving as a director of the Women Elected Officials organization known as WEMO this year, we hosted the annual WEMO luncheon, and the message was sent home, this dignity index that Karen shared with us all. The other half of the dynamic duo that crafted this presented to all the attendees at the WEMO luncheon and talked about and gave us examples of implementing it and how you might use it. So that was really well received. It was a lot of fun. I was able to connect with some of the elected officials, including our Town Wakefield Council Chair and previous Chair, Chair of the Select Board. Sudbury Select Board. And I met with the Chair of the Sudbury Select Board to get a handle on what they have been doing with the Disabilities Commission, because I'm so excited about this, and that is her area of focus. At the Reading Select Board Association meeting, we sat at a round table and discussed fiscal challenges. Everyone's got them. People talked about Wakefield happened to be at that table. So they just passed a $13 million override, which I did not know this was their first ever override ever. So they got that done. We talked about regionalization, and of course, we were there. So we share our assessor. He's wonderful. It's working very well. Other communities have regionalized their health department. Other communities have regionalized dispatch. I guess Wakefield needs a new DPW facility too. And, there's that lovely piece of land over Curtis Guild. So, and there were comments about we talked about fire trucks and how they don't last long and they cost a fortune, and, regionalization. We haven't talked about that in a while, seriously. And with the financial constraints that we have, maybe we should take that up again. But Wakefield has a new town administrator, and the councilors are very excited about that. So we already have a good working relationship with them. Perhaps there's more. Let's see. So at the MMA business meeting, we heard from Governor Healy. We heard from Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll twice. We heard from both of our senators, Senators Markey and Senator Warren. And then on Saturday, the annual business meeting took place, and it involved a discussion of an FY 2027 fiscal resolution, which expresses the desire of the MMA to have a, how did we phrase it? A terrific financial-based partnership, always asking them for more Chapter 70, more Chapter 90, funding for our schools, funding for our roads, and referencing the fact that we're all feeling the pinch, all communities are feeling the pinch because the ARPA funds have been well spent, but they're going to be gone. So this year, the fiscal resolution, and in general, we are encourage the governor to restore unfunded general government funds. I didn't get that acronym right. But this year also, the resolution also included support for Governor Healy's Municipal Empowerment Act, which, while it does not directly provide more funding, it does provide all communities with the flexibility to address local revenue options. Examples of that would be the meals tax, which Reading has adopted a number of years ago, hotel taxes for those communities that have hotel taxes. It also provides options for property tax relief for seniors and for lower income residents. So the resolution was passed unanimously, and that will just go to the governor's desk, and it'll probably be shared with the legislature as well. They've been in session. So finally, I did join actually one session of the Mass State Senate hearings on 115. The senators were discussing a number of bills, including the Massachusetts Senior Circuit Breaker Tax Credit. So Senator Lewis was the sponsor of this bill with our own shared assessor, Victor I'm going to butcher his name. Thank you. I'm going to butcher his name. So the great news with that was that the legislation passed, and it is going to move on to the House of Representatives. So everybody's pretty excited about expanding the senior circuit tax breaker as best we can. So we owe Victor a lot of, we thank him for his service and continually fighting for the seniors. Okay, I think that's it.
Thanks, Karen. I just had one quick follow-up. Did the town of Reading take a position on the vote that was cast at the conference?
I attended as a member of the select board, and the MMA authorized me to vote on our behalf, and that is the way it has worked for the past 2 years anyway. Before that, I believe I accompanied Jackie her first year, or I believe Jackie might have voted 1 year. When I was chair, I attended in person and voted as chair.
But to clarify, there was only 351 votes at the MMA meeting. Did Reading vote? I
answered that question. What
so,
am I missing?
So you voted on behalf of Reading to sign on to the resolution that you just outlined?
You asked me, and I told you yes.
Okay. I will handle the follow-up to that in future agendas then. Melissa, did you have anything?
I do. I listened into a couple of school committee meetings since our last meeting. A couple of points from those meetings is that kindergarten registration is open until the end of January, so you have a couple more days for those families that may be listening in and haven't registered yet. School choice. Currently, there are 79 students, and they're projecting 100 next year, and that revenue is used very aggressively to balance their FY27 budget, which is a little concerning to keep them and maintain their budget. Two major naming proposals have been introduced for the new fitness center and the announcing booth, and they'll go through the steps of that. And then the superintendent search time has aggressively been accelerated to conclude before April election. Board of Health met on January 8th. We have a new inspector, and I don't want to Matt, can you pronounce their name so I don't butcher it? I apologize. The new health inspector.
Brandon works for me. Brandon Vigneault.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is the building commissioner.
Okay. No, health inspector.
Oh, the health inspector.
Yes.
I beg your pardon.
Oh yeah.
I was listening.
Zerahan.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I just didn't want to butcher
Yep.
the name. He was the former health inspector in Medford, I
That's
believe.
correct.
So we're excited to have him join the town of Reading. They were discussing a community fridge concept, which I thought was fascinating, and they're looking to do it at the First Baptist Church, which it's a community fridge, and they'll install an outdoor fridge that will combat food insecurity and reduce waste. Yep, and they'll put it at the First Baptist Church. There are some concerns that the Board of Health is working through. I think they're going to reach out to other towns to do it, obviously food safety and liability implications and all that stuff. But they were talking about that at their meeting, yeah. CPDC met on January 12th. They were talking about the new ADU bylaw and updated. They're targeting to update our policies here in Reading by town meeting of November of 2026. Eastern Gateway zoning discussion was advanced, and the consult will attend their February meeting, as far as I know. Conservation Committee discussed the DCR trail grant that they're going to apply for, which will help with the design process for the trails behind Recal. They were still having issues with Matera Cabin, and they're still hoping to get those resolved with volunteers, and then they'll probably have to hire contractors to do some of that work as well. There was a discussion on a proposal of a $20,000 line item for conservation and trails to be added to town budget, which I know in this time with fiscal constraints and our concerns of the future, I don't disagree with this for many reasons. All of the fees that conservation gets go into free cash, and then they still have to come to us and ask for money. So, I don't know if $20,000 is the right number right now, but I do think that should be something we really consider, because those fees that they collect don't go to them in any way, shape, or form. They're just going into free cash. So I did listen into a little bit of the Walker's Brook Zoom. Unfortunately, I had to jump off earlier than that. I did listen back, and I am happy that they went with the wider lanes for both bike and walkers versus just a bike lane, because that failed very quickly in Wakefield, and I drive North Ave fairly frequently with the kids, so that didn't go well. RCTV meeting was on January 20th. They had a great outcome of applicants for executive director there. So they're going through that process. The team at RCTV has worked really hard to repair some fiber network issues that they had throughout the town. So at the PAC, the high school, and they created a new connection at Burbank, so they shouldn't have any more issues of live streaming games there. And they are going to reschedule their open house at their new space in the near future. I think they're hoping to get their new executive director on board first. I have listened in to Council on Aging and on to Recal, just mainly trying to listen to the feedback on the new Recal or Recal PBC meeting, just to get some feedback on that project. I know we've talked about this before, and I'll mention it again. I really want them to come and have a conversation with us about their, what they're thinking, the operational plan. I read the feedback that Council on Aging gave on the operation of the building, and I've been saying this for a long time, and this is one of my concerns of this bigger building and this bigger concept is that, the voters voted for a building that was multi-purpose and not just seniors. And I'm a little concerned that there's a little bit of we just need to be really aware of how that building was voted on. And I'm a little concerned that there are people getting upset, but the building was voted on by all the residents of this town to be shared. And we have to remember that there is a, point that we're trying to, the 60 plus community had some priority, but it's not a building just for the 60 plus community. So we need to remember that. And so I would really love for you guys to present to us so we can have a conversation about that. And that's it.
Thanks,
I
Melissa.
think Jane might add to my.
Go ahead, Jane.
No, that's a great point. I appreciate that you made that point. I'm going to draft a memo back to respond to some of the items in there, and really thoughtfully. And I think it's a wonderful conversation that we're having with the Council on Aging, and their leadership has been wonderful. So we really enjoy that. Your point is well taken, and we agree. So we have an operations plan, which is policies about how we operate the building, like how we schedule things like that. And then you had also expressed interest in the financial aspects and operating costs, that we understand what they understand. So we're in that piece of it now with the budgeting and trying to outline that in a make sense way. We're also looking at FY27 and FY28. And so I have not forgotten your request to come before this board with those two pieces of information, which we are happy to do. I'm going to ask that you let the operations committee complete that financial package, and then we'll bring both pieces before you. They're draft documents. They're up for discussion. It's not carved in stone. So you can have that conversation. But I just wanted to just say we haven't forgotten you. We will bring this forward to you for sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate it.
And just to follow up on that, I think I heard you say the building is slated to open August 27.
Right.
It was originally May or something, but then things got bumped to August. So it's good that the time is being taken now. We still have time. Obviously, you don't want to wait till the last minute, but
100%. Some of our peer communities who have done something like this have not presented operations plans, certainly not this far in advance. Some of them open, and they're working through, and I think we will also work through any growing pains, and we'll discover them as we do them, as we live them. But we're trying to anticipate and give ourselves policies and thoughtful ways to manage any conflicts that we see. But we're very encouraged. It's going to be a great building for our community. And yes, it was originally soft opening was slated for May, but when the permitting was pushed through our permitting process last fall, we didn't put out the bids until December, and they're due February 5th. So all day long, my filed sub bids have been coming in, and I'm watching the filed sub bids notifications that they're coming in, and so that's so that the general contractor will know the cost of all the sub pieces, and we should get that next week. So it's a very exciting time.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Excellent. Karen?
Just add on. So I met with one of the select board members from Lincoln. Her name's Jennifer Glass. I guess they have a senior center / community center, which sounds like it has a very similar model to ours. Now, I think Lincoln's smaller to us, but that might be a good place for us to figure out what's worked ahead of time.
Yep.
Tell us what mistakes they made so we can avoid all of them.
Absolutely. We love aha moments. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Thank you for that. I will follow up with that. Thank you.
All right, and then for me, I also attended the MLK celebration at the Performing Arts Center. Once again, they put on an excellent program there. I'm glad they didn't take the political route that I've seen other communities or whatever go down that kind of avenue, and they kept it, the way that it should be, focused on MLK and what he stood for. So I'm very proud that is the angle that everybody had went over there with Albert and all that. So very appreciative on that. And I also did attend the Walkersbrook Drive meeting thing. My big takeaway out of that is a left out of market basket. I'm all for the left out of market basket. I do it anyway. You can just mute that part regardless, even with the police here. And everybody does it anyway. So might as well.
You want to make some easy money? Go down to Walkersbrook.
It's also the stop sign everyone blows through on Haven Street that you could be making money off. But that's the big takeaway, that hopefully at least that can come out of it. Melissa mentioned, the bike lanes getting scrapped and making wider lanes. I'm all for safety in that area. I do agree that bike lanes to nowhere are really going to nowhere, especially with an overpass there. And then with the Trader Joe's scenario that Matt had brought up earlier, who knows what's going to happen with that? It's going to be a nightmare. But safety is obviously a big aspect over there, but also we don't want to end up going back on something that how Wakefield ended up doing. So It seems like they know what they're doing over there. They had multiple options. And if I had to pick, that would have been the one that I picked as well. I'm not sure that I fully agree with everything that they're doing, but at least a left out of market basket is to be appreciated by everybody. And that's it. All right, so moving on, 7:55, really future agendas. Does anybody have anything for future agendas?
Can I ask about August?
Of 2026? August?
Well, we have it scheduled and I'm going to be away, so I wanted to know if we can switch the date. We shrank it to one
meeting in August.
So I was hoping we could switch it to a different. Aren't we? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what
Too soon for me to ask that.
I think that if it's fine with everybody else, I don't see why. Because if we did do the one meeting in August, I mean, unless there's a reason that Matt knows why we did whatever, then you can go with that.
Okay.
I don't think we have to have it as a future agenda, though. So.
Just heard the word
Yes.
agenda, and I thought I'd better.
I heard August, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. August. It's January and snowy outside.
So no, I
Sounds good though that you're thinking ahead of your vacation in August.
They planned this like a year ago.
Planned.
So I will.
I do what I'm told a day beforehand. So that's how I. Did you have anything else? Melissa, anything?
Nope. Jane knows mine, but it will get here when it's the right time.
Promise.
I have full trust in you, Jane.
Karen, did you have anything?
No, I sent one out yesterday. I'm good. Thank you.
Alrighty. So the other items to add on there for the next meeting, Matt, would end up being a letter to the MMA rescinding our unauthorized vote that took place based off the town of Reading, if you can add that on there. And then a censorship resolution regarding that. And that's all I got.
Okay, so I did send in a future addenda item, so they're going to go on as well, right?
If you want to make it known what your future agenda items, I can answer that right now.
Send an email to the entire select board. Did you not get it?
I did, but I'm not here to debate you on it, nor am I here to.
No, you just need to put it on the agenda.
Well,
I don't want to debate it either.
there's reasons why one of your items can't go on the agenda because the charter hasn't been approved by the voters yet. Therefore,
So
we
we're going
can't
a little bit
add.
off topic. So
That's one of your agenda.
I don't want to encourage.
I'm just saying you want your two items that you want to add to the agenda is based off the charter for the majority vote for the select board.
So
And
we can't talk about it. Actually, we can ask about a future agenda item.
well, that is a future agenda item you wanted.
Wait a little bit. Any idea how long I need to wait?
It all depends. Matt and I meet and we go over things. It's it really depends on the meeting. We almost canceled this one, but the Blasie's happened. And
Charter hasn't been accepted yet. When might that? Is that a 90 days after the first of the year type of thing? Or
Yeah, it has to go through the voters. So all the charter has to go through the legislature and the voters is the next step. So until that happens, there's no changes to the charter. It's exactly as it is now. So
that is correct. And Matt's not.
Okay, and the other item.
I thought we weren't discussing it, but if
So
you
we're
wanted
not put it on the agenda.
So the other item that you requested sent to the entire select board is about the select board adopting a policy based off adopting Robert's rules as the meeting that we govern by. And to that, I would say we had the select board retreat that you did not attend,
Okay.
where that
So
would be brought up.
now we're not. If you want to have this conversation, we
I already.
put it on the agenda, and then you can say whatever you want.
I'm not going to.
Ask for an agenda item based on what a resident has been asking us for. We owe it to the resident to respond.
Residents can ask us anything and everything all the time. There are things that come up on a day-to-day basis that you are not privy to, that Matt and I and Melissa end up meeting on, that things have to get bumped, things change. The early voting thing was not on this agenda and got added at the last second. Things are constantly in flux. That's the way it's always been, and it will always be. Not when I'm chair, you, Karen, Melissa, whomever is. That's the way it works in Reading. Any other future
So
agenda
it's
items?
going to be on the next meeting agenda then.
Is there any other
Are
future
you saying
agenda
that you're
items?
not going to allow me to request agenda items?
You can request anything. You didn't want to make the request. I then had to say what the request was, and you are able to make whatever request that you want.
I did. I made the request, and I'm waiting to hear that it'll be on the next agenda.
Matt just told you that one of them is not legal, so I'm not sure why.
Say that.
Well,
so
it's
you're
not.
mischaracterizing what he said,
Mhm.
but he explained it better than you did. So, but let's talk about putting my other agenda item request on our next meeting. Or what I asked specifically for was a February agenda. So can we just pick one?
I will work in coordination with select board policies with Matt on crafting the agenda and adding things to them when time allows. That's how it's always been.
I don't think you're following select board policies, and
That is verbatim select board
I asked
policy.
for an agenda item last November, and you refused to take it because you said it was written and it needs to be asked in public. So
That, Karen, you are mischaracterizing, and you are now opening it up where I have to now combat your mischaracterization of the scenario.
all right. So
There is
select board policy went to
this agenda item that says 755 future agendas. Future agendas has been on every single select board meeting, other than maybe one or two here and there where there's special meetings, ever since the select board was established. You or anybody else doesn't have to email the full select board agenda items 24 hours before the meeting starts. You could have requested it then. You requested it yesterday. I'm not sure why you think that's okay, that it's going to open us to an OML when someone's going to reply all by accident. Like, these scenarios have never happened before. They don't have to. But future agendas get brought up during future agendas unless Matt, me, Melissa, Jane, whomever coordinates something behind the scenes with Laura. Any one of these various things can pop up. There could be other items added here.
It sounds like we're done with this meeting.
Well, we still have to approve the prior meetings. So
Yeah, there's no way for we need to adopt Robert's rules. Robert's rules has a mechanism for censuring body members if you so. Otherwise, you can't do that. We haven't adopted Robert's rules. It's not in our policy. We have no procedure for censoring number. I agree with you. It's a great idea.
it is a great idea.
Okay, you need to take my agenda item and put it on the agenda, and then we can think about putting your agenda item on a subsequent agenda. But it all fits together.
I appreciate your feedback, Karen, and we will move on to approving the prior meeting minutes from January 6th. Maddie, did you have any updates? I know I had sent two over.
Yes, I had a couple. I will pull them up now. Did you want me to share who made which edits?
I sent in
Yes.
one addition. Oh, sorry.
So the first red and bold line was sent in by Chris, and the red underneath that's not bolded was an edit from Karen Herrick.
Either one of those is fine with me.
Yeah, either one. Obviously, mine is fine with me, but yes, Karen's is also relevant.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I don't know who. Both say the same thing. Karen's is a little bit more detailed, so I'm fine with Karen's edit.
Doesn't matter. Just get rid of the second one, Maddie. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Melissa sent in this first paragraph, and Chris sent in the one underneath that's bold and red.
You know, Maddie, one question I do have, or I'm not sure if Maddie should answer this or Matt should answer this. So I read from a statement. Does that statement need to be attached to the minutes?
Usually we include, if it's a statement, we can include it in the packet. I mean, it wasn't submitted. It was just, you just read it orally.
I just read my statement. It doesn't matter to me either way. I
Yeah.
just didn't know if we should have it attached. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think. I mean, we could say that you read from the statement, and I think that's fine. But
Okay, that's fine. Yep, good for me.
So the way that it's supposed to work is any documents used at or during the select board meeting have to get added to the packet for that meeting, even if after the fact. Meaning, Karen Rose gave us passed out the dignity index scenario. That should be included for this because the public didn't get to see what all of us saw. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that is kind of what we should be doing with that. So to answer your question, Ms. Melissa.
Happy to send it. I have not done that.
So that first paragraph, we need to be really clear that the views presented in that paragraph represent your views.
Yes, I thought that I made it clear, but feel free to.
But we could just maybe, because
I'm pretty sure everywhere it made it clear that it was my opinion or my thoughts, not the board's. But if you see someplace where you feel that that's not the case,
maybe following the meeting, she believed the same resident, something like that.
Well, I didn't believe it was the same. That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
It's not a fact. It's what you're choosing to present the situation as. But it's okay. I just wanted to show that I don't agree. That's an area where we agree to disagree. So I just want to make it really clear. I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with what? I'm sorry. I didn't.
That statement that should have be attributed to you as well.
I think the entire section is attributed to her.
The second sentence, following the meeting, Melissa added something like that. It needs to be, it's an opinion.
I guess for that I would say what you just said. Following the meeting, Melissa added the same residence in the rest of that sentence.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I thought Maddie did a wonderful job summarizing this, and all for naught, I guess.
I think deminimizing 40 minutes of a meeting and dumping it down the memory hall, not that that was her intention, where it was other people's in this town's intention, is not warranted in this case. This has to be a strong, firm, and well laid out.
Only for the residents, though, not for the select board members that were engaged on the other side. This seems like a bully pulpit. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
I'm happy to add what I said to the residents when they came, if you'd like me to.
I think it was better the way Maddie left it. Kept it very summarized. This is not a highlight of wonderful select board actions.
I agree. It is a very low light in the town of Reading that never should have occurred in the first place.
You were involved in it, so
I can't control people leaving their house and coming down and confronting me, Karen. Sorry. Like, it's not my fault because of public comment policy.
We're
that
doing
somebody did that.
Summary minutes.
If that is a summary, believe me, I read like 7 paragraphs condensed into one.
Maddie did a great summary, and all for naught.
I'm happy you approved of her minutes this time. Was there any other changes other than those on this? Or
I made another change. Would it get approved? I can't get an agenda item.
Everybody submits changes in advance. It has been. I have just
get in. If it's Karen Herrick, they don't get
Karen, I just said that I wanted your edits added into the beginning of the minutes, and you said no.
On the minutes.
Like, you just said no 2 minutes ago. Is there any clarity in this section? Like, I don't even know how this was brought up about a financial issue.
That minutes failed to accurately reflect financial concerns raised by members.
Well, I attempted. This is exactly what I'm talking about. when I attempted to edit the previous minutes, the ones that we're approving here, and I noted that they failed to accurately reflect the financial concerns by members during the Burbank Arena Memorandum of Understanding Master License Agreement discussion. So the way minutes should be done is that when you have a dissenting opinion, you should note why the opinion was dissenting. And so that's the reason that's in here. The rest of this meeting minutes were all 5-0 or 4-0 or something.
I'm fine with it, but typically what's happened in the past, and when there's a motion and there's any discussion, that portion typically is included in the minutes, as opposed to just the reason why something didn't happen on a 4-1 vote. I'm just going historically. It doesn't have to always be like that. But I'm fine with that. Was there anything else, Mary?
No, that was the last edit.
Do you have a motion? Hold on. Yes, motion.
Move to approve the meeting minutes of January 6, 2026 as amended.
Second.
Second by Karen Herrick. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 4-0. Any other motions? No, Karen, you nothing? So. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just stay here all night.
Oh. Motion to adjourn.
Well, Melissa beat you.
Second.
Well, now Melissa seconded Karen Rose Gillis's. All those in favor? 4-0. Thank you. You're adjourned.